For digital products will increase in 2025, but the Milwaukee Business Journal reports Gannett's total revenue has declined every year since 2019. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The NFL League year-end free agency period begins March 12th, and the Packers have roughly $48 million of cap space. ESPN's Rob Demovsky.
I did talk to some agents that have been there and are still there, two of which who actually met with the Packers. The agents told me specifically, this is what he said to me, your team is going to be a player in free agency this year.
Packers brass remains in Indianapolis for the scouting combine. The Brewers are on the field in Cactus League action against the Giants. Right now in the bottom of the fourth, the Giants are leading 8-1. Our next broadcast is scheduled for Saturday afternoon at 2. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 3:36.
Ready to upgrade your home's exterior? Family owned and operated since 1983, J&J Contractors specializes in top quality windows, doors, and siding that enhance your home while increasing its value and energy efficiency. From modern vinyl siding to stylish fiberglass doors, and from double hung windows to sliding glass doors, they have the perfect solutions for your home. Contact them today for a free consultation. Just search online J&J Contractors or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors, welcome home.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
John and Julia with you, broadcasting from the 2025 Milwaukee Auto Show. I love it in here every year. I love the vibe. There's cool stuff to look at. There's fun stuff to do.
I know. I wanted to get in a Mini Cooper so bad, and I was able to see it. I don't know why. That's my dream car.
Those are fun little cars, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
you look good in one of those.
Yeah.
Hey, let's bring in the guy. Jim Tolkien is the president of the Automobile Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee. He is with us here live at the Auto Show. Jim, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes.
It's so good to have you here. Okay. For people who have not been in here, what would you say are the highlights? Give us a broad overview to start with. What makes this so special?
Well, one thing that makes it special, this is effectively a brand new venue. This is the new addition to the Barrett Center, and it is magnificent. Beautiful windows, beautiful carpeting, high ceilings. It's not like you're in a large room with no windows. It's just very, very nice.
It's all on one floor.
All on one floor. And this one floor is about 2.5 times bigger than the 3 floors it used to be on.
You know what? That's
Whoa.
absolutely amazing. It's really hard to believe. Okay, so one of the things I love about this, Jim, is you can come see every vehicle and there's no pressure to buy. You literally can't buy anything here, a car here. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. And that's the key to this. People are paying money to look at cars that they may buy within the next month to 8 months. And the only information they're going to get all the safety features, all the options available, all the suggested retail prices, all the capabilities, all the vehicles, again, with no pressure at all to buy. So bring the whole family. If you have a couple of kids, bring them along, see if the whole family likes it. And then when it's actually time, you've already narrowed down the decision maybe between 2 vehicles. And then you only have to look at 2 because you've compared with all the rest, and these are the 2 that won.
I think it's so cool. Tell us about West Bend Dyno. This is a tuning shop. They have some really cool stuff. What makes their exhibit here so special?
Well, first of all, they got very cool cars. And what they do is they make any car, new car, old car, classic vintage car, into a speedster.
Yeah.
Different wheels, different transmissions, different engine packages, so they just scream when you drive them. And there's one in particular, I believe it's a Chevelle. It is a magnificent color, magnificent wheels, and an unbelievable engine. It is something a car nut would dream about and wish they could have.
What about the colors, the car colors? I see a lot of matte finishes.
There are.
Yeah, is that like a new thing, or what's the new trend of the paint on the car?
Well, matte finishes aren't brand new. They've been around for several years, and most particularly in high-end import cars. But they're not restricted to high-line import cars anymore. So there are a lot of cars here with matte finishes and different kinds of propulsion. Gas engine, hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and gasoline and all electric. So you have many different choices of how you want your car to move forward.
One of the things I love is that there's something for the whole family. I just walked past where they're doing mini golf. I think there's something cool with mascots tomorrow. Can you elaborate on that part, Jim? It's not just people who are looking to buy a new car.
That's correct. There's mini golf. In the Subaru display, there are pets, and those are pets that you actually can adopt. And if you qualify, you can literally take home one of 3 or 4 or 5 different puppies here. And in the Ford display, there's this really cool, as you had mentioned earlier, driver simulator. So it appears like you're driving a car on a race course. And it's just lots and lots of fun.
All right, so Julia, you got to see the dog. You got to get over and see those puppies.
I do. I've had 4 Subarus, so I think that's
so you totally qualify. You need to get over and get one of those dogs. You would absolutely love it. All right, Jim, tell us the hours on Saturday, the hours on Sunday, how people can get tickets. How do they make this happen?
The hours tomorrow are 10 until 9, Sunday 10 till 6.
And tickets are easy. You can even get them here if you want to, right?
You can get them here. You can buy them online.
Yeah, right here.
Right here.
It's easy. And see the Baird Center. It's beautiful. It's worth seeing itself. And you get these beautiful cars and this view of our city. It's fantastic. Jim Tolkien is the president of the Automobile Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee. Always good to have you catch up. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you.
It is 3:41 at WTMJ. Traffic and weather are up next.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks, on demand, in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
Hey, John Burkier here for Landworks Wisconsin. Take a look outside right now. Imagine the art of your dreams. That crusty grass isn't there. The snert, the dirty snow isn't there. Instead, you imagine the healthy blooms, the immaculately edged beds, the beautiful, thriving plant life. It's Landworks Wisconsin. They'll do it for you. They did it for me last summer. My yard's incredible, and I can't wait to see what spring brings. It's Landworks Wisconsin. They'll help you take the guesswork out of your green space with landscape services, personalized landscaping plans that are carefully designed to make your property shine throughout the season. Contact Landworks today at landworkswisconsin.com. They'll take great care of you. It's Landworks Wisconsin.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions. Get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
As Clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's Dame time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year, I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and H&R Benefits consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lonsica, how are the roads?
Well, we are still seeing those big delays. Southbound 43, pretty much from just south of Silver Spring all the way down to Locust, where there is a crash blocking the left lane. So give yourself tons of extra time to get past that. Of course, everybody on the other side of the wall has to take a look at this. So we got backups from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Locust. Southbound 41 slowing from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. We've got a crash now on 894 southbound right at the Hale interchange off on the left shoulder. It's not helping things. We've also got a crash on Highway 45 on the ramp to get onto the Rock Freeway northbound. This one is off on the left shoulder, so watch out for that. The main line of the Rock Freeway is still looking okay, and as from what I can see, 45 is as well, so it's right on that ramp. You just want to be extra careful heading through that. Oh, by the way, with that other accident near the Hale, southbound is slowing down from Greenfield all the way down to the accident scene at the Hale. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, blustery tonight already. Wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. The low will be 17 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 28. Sunday, mostly sunny, a high of 36. Monday, a chance of a wintry mix. Will be mostly cloudy throughout the day, though, a high of 42. Tuesday, more chances of rain, a high of 46 degrees.
We're excited to be joined at the Milwaukee Auto Show. We're here till 6 o'clock. Come say hello. Bye, Milwaukee County Executive, one of the really good guys, David Crowley. Mr. County Executive, thank you for being here.
Yeah, we're so glad to be joining y'all here at the Bear Center. What an exciting time to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we haven't seen you since the big story of you graduating. Yes. I want to tell you that's an inspiration. So at 19, you were in a different place than you are now. You committed, you went back, you got your degree. Before we talk about reckless driving, I wanted to ask you one question related to that. Okay. How did you stay motivated? What was your inspiration to get this done?
Great question. So to be honest with you, it's three motivating factors. One, it was my mother. You know, she passed away about 2 years ago. But even when I became the county executive, she said that this should be one of the most important decisions I make to go back and get my degree. And the second reason was because she felt that I needed to make sure that my daughters knew how important an education was, but also for the community. I think there are a lot of people who are in the same place that I was in, not necessarily having a degree, or may have like 12 or 30 credits to go. And so I wanted to be an example to show that even though if you are busy, we can stay committed, we can show the passion by going back and getting a good education.
You certainly are. What is your degree in?
Yeah, so I got my degree in community education and engagement. And so this is it's a policy degree. It fits well with my work. So anything public policy, education, nonprofit management and leadership type of certificates.
Excellent.
Those are the type of degree
That's wonderful.
I have. Thank you.
So you recently signed a resolution to adopt Milwaukee County's Comprehensive Safety Action Plan, CSAP.
Yes.
What does this mean? Tell us about the plan. Give us the overview.
Absolutely. So as many folks know, not just here within Milwaukee County, but across the country, reckless driving has just been a huge issue. And so by passing this particular resolution, this allows Milwaukee County to go after potential funding at the federal level. Now, we talk about Vision Zero, right, at the city level. Now we have this county-wide, which gives Milwaukee County, as well as all 19 municipalities, to be able to team up and come up with a unified strategy to help reduce the fatalities and serious injuries that we see on our roadways every single day right here in Milwaukee.
You've identified more than 500 different comprehensive plans that you want to do. Are there maybe one or two that you could see happening in West Dallas to West Milwaukee to Shorewood that would be helpful all over?
Well, that's the beauty of this partnership, because instead of us just coming in and putting in permanent structures, this allows us to work with each municipality. So one of the things you'll start to see is actually temporary structures going up. We want to be able to collect that data and use that data to make a decision on what kind of permanent infrastructure we want to put in place. And so we want to follow the data, but more importantly, the municipalities need to be at the table to see what works well for their community.
You can hear from them. That's good to know.
Yeah. You raised such an interesting point about how this allows you to tap into funding. I wanted to ask you in general about this specifically and in general, how big a part of your job is securing grants and going after federal funding? Because dollars are at a premium and the county doesn't have an endless supply. How important is that?
That is extremely important. I mean, one of the first actions I took when I was first elected in 2020 is we created a special projects and grants office. And this office has brought in millions, tens of millions of dollars into Milwaukee County. And matter of fact, I'm going to be going to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. National Association of Counties, we're having our legislative conference. But this is an opportunity for me to talk to the White House IGA staff, as well as many of the congressional members that we have represented in Wisconsin, to not only talk about the federal funding and how well it would do us, but just continuing to strengthen that partnership, and not just around traffic, but just around all the issues facing our community.
How much money do you want? Because, I mean, like, one on the south side, like, one little stretch was like $16 million. This is not cheap.
Well, it's definitely not cheap. And, you know, when it comes down to Milwaukee County and in my administration, we don't want to leave no money on the table. And so we're going to continue to see what grant dollars, what federal funding is available. But that's the beauty of building these relationships, right? And I know that people have been asking about how does this pause going to affect you all and things of that nature. As of right now, it hasn't affected us.
Okay.
But I will tell you that any federal funding, any pause is going to really slow down our pace in really trying to reduce those serious crashes in Milwaukee.
Road diets, slow zones, signal improvements. It's about getting additional funding. Is it also about actual improvements to our roads and our boulevards?
Absolutely. I mean, you can't do this without actually enhancing our infrastructure, right? Because we know we can't legislate human behavior. So the more and more that we can focus on these infrastructure, we know that we can improve human behavior. We can put parameters around what people can do. And so we see people who wants to, speed and pass on the right? And having bike protected lanes and things of that nature helps to reduce that amount of reckless driving. And so the enhancements on the streets is going to be critical for the infrastructure.
Can we just talk about Capitol Drive for an example? Yeah. Like where TMJ4 was located, where our radio station used to be located, and you can take Capitol all the way into Waukesha County.
Yes.
So what do you envision making it better? Because Milwaukee Slides, I think, was born on Capitol Drive.
It probably was, when you think about how crazy Capitol Drive can be. What I can tell you is that we've identified 25 different corridors all across Milwaukee County that we want to focus on. But you mentioned Capitol Drive, right? Is one of those areas of focus. 27th Street is another area, as well as Fond du Lac Drive, right? But the one thing about, Fond du Lac Avenue, those three particular corridors, they're not City of Milwaukee streets. They're not Milwaukee County streets. Those are owned by the state of Wisconsin. So it's extremely important that we strengthen that partnership, because if we want to see improvements in the infrastructure, these enhancements is going to take the state of Wisconsin working directly with us.
David Crowley is with us, a Milwaukee County executive. You have 3 beautiful daughters and a lovely wife. Do you worry about them on our Milwaukee streets when you talk about reckless driving?
Oh, absolutely. And, you talk about my 3 daughters. I have a 17-year-old who just received her license. And, good thing about her is that she has a job. She works up the street from us, right on Burleigh Street in the Wauwatosa area in the Mayfair Collections. And I'm always worried about what may happen. Now, she's a brand new driver, so I know that it could be a little iffy for her, but she's a good driver. But I'm not worried about her. I'm worried about everyone around her on the road. And so she understands that you have to continuously keep your head on a swivel when it comes down to many of these reckless drivers. But every single day, whether my daughters or my wife is on the streets, but even when I'm on the street, right, I do a lot of traveling across the entire county. And so it's not just about keeping myself safe, but I want to keep everybody safe throughout the county.
I call it defensive driving.
Oh, absolutely.
So with all of these safety opportunities that you want to do in Milwaukee County, you say you hope to reduce fatal and serious injury crashes 38% on average. So how would that happen? How would you make sure that it goes down by 38%? Where did you get that number? It's very specific.
Well, we have a lot of experts when it comes down to our Department of Transportation, and I can't really give you the formulas of how they come up with this, but what we know is that we see about 80 fatalities every year right here within Milwaukee County, and we've seen about a 42% increase when you think about between 2020 and 2022. compared to 10 years ago in 2010 and 2012, we've seen a 42% increase. And so looking at these numbers, again, just looking at the infrastructure, looking at the enhancements that we can place, we know that the physical infrastructure can do so much in reducing these fatalities and serious injuries.
Hey, let's have a little fun. We're at the Milwaukee Auto Show. David Crowley is with us. Are you a car guy?
I am a car guy.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you about old cars, but I will tell you, I'm looking at this Lincoln Continental with the
matte black.
We are too.
Yes, and
Yes.
I'm like only 80 of them. 2019. I had to Google it, but I'm looking at these vehicles.
You'd look good in that.
Yes.
I would look good in that. Unfortunately, I can't afford that type of vehicle.
What was your first car?
My first car, oh, wow. It's actually, my first car was a 1990 Jeep Cherokee.
Oh, that's not bad. What color?
That's really
It was
nice.
it was an all-white 1990 Jeep Cherokee. It was all white. It was a gift from my father, and he gave it to me as I was actually back then getting ready to go into the electrical apprenticeship so I can have a vehicle. Yep.
Was that the boxy one?
That was the boxy.
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Those are cool.
Those
that was
lasted
cool back then,
forever.
especially.
Yeah,
Yes.
and ironically, I don't have that vehicle anymore because it was stolen.
No way.
Wow.
Oh,
Hey, all right, one more. You can snap your fingers, close your eyes, and any car can be dropped in your front yard and is paid for and it's yours. What car do you want dropped in that nice yard?
That's a really good question. I love American-made cars, so I'm thinking about a nice Lincoln. My dream car has always been like a Lincoln Navigator.
Yeah.
If I could do anything, but if I'm going full luxury, those Maseratis look real nice.
They're fast too.
Oh, real fast,
Yeah.
man.
So
I never got a chance to be in one.
You're the Milwaukee County executive. Get you out of State Fair Park and you can take it around the track.
Oh, absolutely. But I have to always make sure that the taxpayers knows that we did not spend Milwaukee County dollars on these things.
David Crowley is the Milwaukee County executive. It's always fun to catch up. Thank you. Good to see you.
No, thank you for having me, and I want all your listeners to know to please be safe while on the road. Watch out for those pedestrians. Keep your head in the swivel, and please always drive safe.
Good advice. It is 3:56 at WTMJ.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Marcus Corporation ended the year on a high note, despite some struggles in the first half of 2024. The Milwaukee-based hotel and cinema operator benefited from a strong slate of highly anticipated movies like Wicked and Inside Out 2, while its hotels saw more group bookings. A Wisconsin bank is launching a digital bank, hoping to attract customers who don't need brick-and-mortar branches. The Bank of Broadhead has launched Vault.Bank, which is debuting with a savings account with a 4.5% interest rate. Allspring Global Investments is moving downtown after decades in the suburbs. The investment management firm is bringing about 300 employees to the 3rd Ward. Last year, it sold its office in Menominee Falls to Milwaukee Tool. I'm Timothy Gibbons for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Kaiser's Snowy Roads Sweetheart Prices sales event is happening now. Remaining 2024 models are priced to go. Looking for a vehicle that can handle our wintry roads? Get yourself a reliable all-wheel drive that can handle anything winter throws at you. With heated seats to top safety features and our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which includes roadside assistance for life, our vehicles are built to keep you cozy with peace of mind, even when the roads get slick. But hurry, our 2024 models are almost gone. So visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Open the door to savings with beautiful Mastercraft doors at Menards. Mastercraft steel entry doors add security and improve the appearance of your home. Choose from our huge in-stock selection or design your door your way with our free step-by-step design program, online or in-store. Saving on your new door at Menards and check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this, just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hey, John Mercure here for Sit Means Sit Dog Training, the best in the business. I've always had great dogs, and now my house is better because I'm a better dog owner because the dogs are better behaved. Sit Means Sit Dog Training. We started with Matt and his team's free consultation, went into one of their locations. Matt met the dogs met him. We had a fantastic trainer, and I never thought this would happen, but the dogs are just less barky, less jumpy. They're better dogs. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training. If you want a dog that's happy, confident, obedient, I've got the team for you. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training.
At the Milwaukee Auto Show, we have a vehicle for almost everything, and we certainly have a vehicle for your thing. The Auto Show has the largest selection of vehicles from different manufacturers all in one place. Barrett Center, the 22nd through the 2nd. Buy tickets online, no added fees. AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4:01. I'm Jessica Gatso. This is Wisconsin's afternoon news for Friday, February 28th. Your top story, a health setback for the Pope.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we've got a rough ride this afternoon. Southbound 43, still very heavy from Silver Spring all the way down to Locust, where there is an accident blocking that left lane. So that is going to be affecting that ride. And then we've also got the northbound side slowing down from Kilbourne all the way up to Locust. Also, an accident southbound 894 just before you get to the Hale interchange. That's off on the left shoulder, and enough to see delays all the way out of the Zoo interchange. Also, an accident on the ramp from 45 to the northbound Rock Freeway just before you get to the Hale there. That one is off on the left shoulder. And a broken down vehicle westbound 94 pretty much just before you hit Sawyer Road in Waukesha County. We've got the right shoulder closed, but it's enough to create delays all the way back almost to Highway 83. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
A wind advisory is in effect until 6 p.m. for all of southeast Wisconsin. Tonight, partly cloudy, still blustery, a low of 17 degrees with wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 28. At 4:02, it's 50 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Pope Francis hit a setback today when he had a coughing fit that required medical intervention. CBS News foreign correspondent Chris Livesay reports from St. Peter's Square.
We're told by the Vatican sources that this is not as serious as that prolonged respiratory crisis that he suffered on Saturday, which required high-flow oxygen and blood transfusions. Nevertheless, it does complicate his ability to process oxygen. We're told by the same Vatican sources that we won't know for another 24 or 48 hours exactly how serious the medical picture is. Chris Lipsey, CBS News, Rome.
In the Oval Office today, President Trump, Ukrainian President Zelensky, and Vice President Vance engaging in a shouting match. Trump telling Zelensky to either make a deal or the U.S. is out. Vance accusing Zelensky of not saying thank you to the U.S. for aiding Ukraine in its fight against Russia. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers.
President Trump and President Zelensky in a heated back and forth in the Oval Office about the prospect for peace in Ukraine.
Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
I know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
After reporters left the Oval Office, Zelensky was escorted to another room. President Trump huddled with his team and, according to a senior White House official, decided Zelensky had to leave and could come back when he was serious about a peace deal. That official said the Ukrainian president wanted to continue talks, but President Trump had made up his mind. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
A judge revokes conditional release for Morgan Geyser. Judge Michael Aborin saying that Geyser's team did not provide a conditional release plan and enough information regarding safety at the initial ruling. This comes more than a decade after Geyser and a friend stabbed another girl to appease the fictional internet character Slender Man. The next court hearing for Geyser set for March 6. The Milwaukee Health Department and the Milwaukee Public Schools temporarily close Trowbridge Elementary for high lead levels. Around 280 students and staff will transition to the Wisconsin Conservatory of Lifelong Learning on Monday, while the health department works on cleaning. Deputy Commissioner of Environmental Health Tyler Weber outlines what caused the recent review of lead in 4 MPS schools.
Golda was confirmed lead poisoning due to hazards at Golda. Coggle, maybe a mix of the school and the home. And Maryland was more of us taking precautions to after MPS was schools were flagged for us. And then Trowbridge was a case of lead poisoning at home. Remediation was done. The lead levels did not decline at a rate that we would have expected.
The Milwaukee Health Department confirms there are no additional cases of lead poisoning reported. Coming up, a World Championship in Milwaukee this weekend. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 4:05.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
They did it again. Best of the best in the whole USA. Wisconsin's very own Siding Unlimited. Local and family-owned Siding Unlimited has won their 5th National Pella Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year award. Siding Unlimited has been installing Pella windows and doors for over 30 years and doing it the right way. Top-notch installation by their very own amazing craftsmen. Homeowners rave about their beautiful windows, easy to open and energy-efficient Pellas with an unmatched warranty, and about the excellence of Siding Unlimited's installation experience. Peace of mind, durability, function, daily job cleanup. You need great new windows installed the right way. You need Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make Outdoor Living Unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
$1 for just $1 over cost. You can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. Just $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or CVS.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 4:07. The Bucks are out of town, but Pfizer Forum will be busy this weekend with the best bull riders in the world taking center stage.
Including Austin Richardson of Texas, who is ranked number 7 in the world.
Do the bulls also travel, or is it a new animal every time you go to a different city?
Yeah, the bulls travel with us. They trade out every other weekend, different contractors from all over the world.
Richardson got his start at a young age, riding sheep.
It's kind of a part of the train, riding sheep, calves, and stuff like that all the way up.
Many of the best riders in the world hail from Texas, Oklahoma, and Brazil. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gerber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Surging Bucks have won 6 of their last 8 games. The Bucks will begin a 2-game road trip Saturday night in Dallas against the Mavericks. The Brewers are on the field in Scottsdale today, facing the Giants in Cactus League play. Right now in the bottom of the 7th, Giants are leading 9-1. Christian Yelich is expected back in the Brewers lineup in the next week. Our next broadcast is scheduled for Saturday at 2 o'clock. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 4:08.
What we've found is that when you have workers who feel valued, you get better results. This is why good people and good culture should matter to anyone looking for an exterior remodeling company they can trust. It's going to be your experience and the end result that gives you peace of mind, because you'll know your work was done by people who care. We realized early on that if we were going to change the reputation of this industry for the better, that finding good workers that you could trust to do great work was going to be the key. We're attracting good people every day because we take care of our people. We want to make sure they feel important because they are. And we're going to make sure you feel important and valued too. with excellent customer service and high quality work. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Live from the Baird Center at the Milwaukee Auto Show, it's Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Jody Afello.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, this is literally just breaking. Test results, preliminary results for Gene Hackman and his wife have come back negative for carbon monoxide poisoning. Negative, so officials believe he did not die from carbon monoxide poisoning. The death has been classified as suspicious. More tests are being conducted. Authorities are talking right now. We'll bring you information as it develops through the course of the afternoon. All right, let's get to the other top story today.
Yes.
Meeting in the Oval Office. Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, meets with President Trump and with Vice President J.D. Vance. They're there primarily to talk about a mineral deal that we're going to sign with them, and it quickly devolves into the state of the war. Julie, I know you have some perspective. We're going to get to that right after this clip. I want you to first listen. This is what happened in the Oval Office.
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are not strong...
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
That.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
Playing cards.
But right now, you don't.
Yeah,
you're playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No, in this
even
entire
today,
meeting, you said thank you.
Even today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Right there. It got really political, including questions from to Trump about, his alignment with Russia. He brought up Russia, the Biden laptop from hell. All of that stuff was brought up to the surface. So it wasn't even really talking about that, but more of like his problems that he had in political office.
And the reaction from the Kremlin, according to sources, is that Vladimir Putin is delighted by what happened in the Oval Office.
Could you imagine if you were in the Kremlin listening to this?
Oh, it's everything you'd want to hear, right?
Yeah, the top leaders listening to this, or Vladimir Putin listening to that.
Much more ahead on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. It is 4:13.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. I've got a great idea for how you can spend your weekend and come up with some cool ideas how to spend the rest of the year in the great state of Wisconsin. It is Experience Wisconsin. Saturdays at 1 o'clock, we will spin you around the state, tell you some cool places to go, introduce you to some fascinating people. It's Experience Wisconsin. On this week's show, it is beautiful Lake Geneva, and as we head into the Easter season, O&H Danish Bakery. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays right here on WTMJ.
Fleet Farm's bucket sale is back.
You know the drill. Pick up a Fleet Farm 5-gallon bucket for only $3.99. Then save 15% on everything you can fit inside, including clearance. That's right. Any qualifying items you can fit in the bucket are 15% off. So come on in and load up on savings during Fleet Farm's bucket sale, now through March 5th. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
It's a super affordable family fish fry Friday at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. John Mercure here. You don't have to pay $16 or more. Your Mine Chef fish fry is just $7.99, and it's all you can eat. That is ridiculously good value. After a long week, relax with a cold beverage and a great fish fry. The kids' menu starts at $3.99. They can safely play in that huge game room quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up your meal. I repeat, the Mine Chef's all-you-can-eat fish fry is just $7.99. Desserts are always buy one, get one free, and I love the desserts at the Mine Chef. Right there in beautiful downtown Hartford, and another location near the EAA in Oshkosh. Tons of seating, lots of close parking. Reserve now for your Friday $7.99 all-you-can-eat fish fry. Get there early. I love that fish fry, but it gets awfully crowded. Saturday steak dinner is under $20. Sunday brunch under $15. What a value. MineChefRestaurant.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top-quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazica, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. We're still dealing with big delays on southbound 43, basically from Silver Spring all the way down to Locust. There is an accident at Locust blocking the left lane, so that's why you got the big old delays heading all the way down. Now, we've also got the northbound side slowing down from Kilbourne all the way up to Locust, because folks have to slow down to take a look at this. A little bit further south on the southbound side, we do have delays coming through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge all the way down to the KK River crossing. The other heavy area is on the bypass heading southbound. We do have a crash on the left shoulder just before you get to the Hale interchange, and those delays start right in the Zoo interchange all the way down, pretty much solid like a parking lot. So just be extra careful, maybe avoid 894 at this point because it's just going to be really super slow. Highway 100 might be an option for you, but remember you got the stop and go lights there. Eastbound 94 slowing down from 84th Street all the way through to about 35th. The westbound side is going to be slow from 27th to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 17. Tomorrow, sunny, 28. Sunday, sunny, a high of 36. Monday, cloudy, 42. Tuesday, chance for rain with a high of 46. Have you ever wished someone acting dangerously on the road would get caught right then and there? I know I have. Well, in this month's Driver's Ed with Deb, our own Debbie Lazica takes a closer look at dash cams and how they can help level the playing field on the roads.
Okay. Tell me if this has happened to you. You're driving along, minding your own business, following all the traffic rules like I know you do, and bam, some yahoo comes up on the right shoulder and cuts you off to get ahead of you.
What an idiot.
Don't you just wish there was a way to catch these people in the act? Well, recently I fell into a YouTube rabbit hole watching dash cam videos and wondered, dash cams, are they really a thing? Well, according to Wisconsin Statute 346.88, they are legal as long as they don't obstruct your view of the road. So at least there's that. But you gotta wonder, have they always been a thing? Insurance Information Institute's Scott Holman says, sort of.
Dash cams have been used by law enforcement for decades. It started in the 1960s, but it's really only become popular with private drivers in the last 15 years. Right now, it's only estimated that maybe 10 to 18% of people use dashboard cameras while they're driving.
But that percentage is starting to climb because it could actually affect your insurance premium.
Some insurance companies may provide discounts by using dash cams. There's something called telematics that some insurance companies use to, if you have, say, a younger driver, you may qualify for a discount if you allow a camera to be put in that car that then sends messages back to the insurance company and to the parents to let everyone know how that young driver is doing.
Beyond being something that you can send into YouTube and get your 15 minutes of fame, dash cams have typically been used as impartial witnesses. And when things become a he said, she said situation, footage from dash cams can clarify things empirically.
The benefit of them is if something happens, if there is an accident, this can help provide information about what caused that accident, or at least provide some clarity for the situation at hand.
What about the folks who are always on the road? The trucking industry. How do they feel about dash cams? Craig Plewa, truck driving instructor at MATC in Oak Creek, says even when he was driving, it wasn't required equipment, but he went out and got one installed himself. Nowadays, it's a lot more common.
I think more and more trucking companies are beginning to have these as just regular equipment. It's in their own benefit. There's people that go out and cut in front of trucks and slam on the brakes so they get hit and can sue them. And if you have this on dash cam, it definitely helps your case in court when you can see it's an intentional act.
They're even talking about further technology.
They're actually eliminating the mirrors off the side of the trucks and having cameras so you can see inside the truck. You have no blind spots. You can see all the way around, and everything is recorded there too.
And we're not just talking about America either. Speaking with Michelle Cheney, who was a city bus driver in Sydney, Australia, I found out that dash cams are important there too.
I was driving along a motorway and a car in front of me braked suddenly, so I braked and I looked in the mirror and all I saw was the grille of a great big truck. Now I actually put my foot down and swerved to get out of the way. It then jackknifed, it slid across 3 lanes of traffic and missed every car in sight. Anyway, I thought it was quite interesting, so I came home and we have a YouTube channel in Australia called Dash Cams Australia, so I thought I'll just upload it to there and see what happens.
The next day, her friends called her up saying they saw her video on TV.
So obviously Channel 9 put it on their news about this lucky call that we had. It was very close.
Let's face it, when something happens, there are going to be multiple perspectives on what truly happened in that incident. How do you know what's true? Bottom line, dash cams can be an objective way to get a somewhat unbiased depiction of an incident, and you don't even have to put it up on YouTube. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard, aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, their mission is to transform the culture of care. They're very specialized and they're very good at it. They take care of people with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. I know how important this is because my grandma was in a place like this, and it wasn't the right place, frankly. Azura is. 5 locations in Milwaukee, Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's about compassion and empathy, kindness at the core all day long. They treat people who live there like members of their own family. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Namaste.
Dan, what are you doing?
Shh, you're harshing my mellow. Join me in some breathing exercises to chase away the chaos.
Let's focus on our clients since we offer an exceptional way to control the chaos.
Inspired Closets can more than double your closet storage space.
And we don't over-design projects, sending you 3 beautiful designs to fit your price point.
Plus, our true lifetime warranty makes it a no-brainer.
Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Is your bathroom stuck in the 90s? Sick of looking at that pink and brass? Then it's time for an upgrade. Abby Home can customize a new tub or shower conversion just for you. If you like the look of tile, but don't want the maintenance and issues that come with it, we're your perfect fit. We pull all the permits, take it down to the studs, and get you a whole new look in 2 days. Go to myabbyhome.com to learn more. Right now, get 0% interest for 24 months and get 20% off your project. If somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
The Oscars are on Sunday. It's one of those moments where a lot of America kind of gathers together. I know we do in our house. We watch it every year. And one of our experts in-house is our friend Sandy Max, the host of What's on Tap on WTMJ. And she's with us live here at the Auto Show. Good to see you, Sandy.
Good to see you. It's the Super Bowl of the film industry.
It is.
You know?
Right.
But with more eye candy, because you've got the red carpet and you got people dressing to impress. Hopefully being the buzzworthy person of the next day, whether it's a ridiculous fashion or one of the best-looking fashions, because you're marketing yourself. You're trying to get that next big role.
I'm looking for Demi Moore.
She's going. It will be very interesting to see now that she's won 2 big awards. She is nominated for Best Actress for her role in The Substance, which is also nominated for Best Picture. But this is a really big story for Demi Moore, who, you know, we've seen on screen since the 80s.
I know.
And now is, I think, 60. She's 60-ish, but made a huge impact in what I will call a horror movie, The Substance. But it's got really strong themes. It's kind of like a horror Barbie movie in that it's got a lot of
It sounds terrible.
talkable points. Well,
I can't watch it. I don't think I can get through
Some
it.
people walked out of movie theaters.
Yeah, did you get through it, Sandy?
I laughed at the end.
Did you see it in a cinema?
No.
Okay, I can't imagine watching The Substance, in the cinema in the dark, up close on a huge screen, because it is gory, it is gross. I thought I would make it 17 minutes in after reading the Wikipedia synopsis, but I was curious, and it keeps winning at us. So I'm like, okay, what am I missing out on? I made it 1 hour and 49 minutes in, but there's no way I could watch the last 30 minutes after reading the synopsis. It is just gory, but it is stylish, it is smart, it really addresses a lot of interesting issues that every other woman that I know who's seen it, we all want to talk about it.
Yeah, you can relate to it.
So
All
it's
right,
impactful.
You talked to a couple filmmakers.
I
Can you
did.
tell me what the filmmakers had to say?
Yeah, this week I talked to Academy Award winner John Ridley, and I asked him his opinion on maybe who would win Best Picture, and this is what he had to say.
I get what the awards are about. I get how important it is to have films elevated, how life-changing it can be. But for me at this point, and even though I'm a voter and I vote sort of selectively, I don't vote across the board, it's just, I'm just happy for everybody. I really, really am. Getting a movie made is harder and harder every year. And I just, if you get your name called, great. But there are good things about it. There are not so good things about it. So I don't really have an opinion.
I thought that was really the voice of an experienced person who's worked in the film industry for over a decade now, and it continues to. But it was interesting to talk to composer Josh Schmidt. He's from Milwaukee, just scored his very first feature film called The End, and he was a guest on What's on Tap, and I asked him, all right, which film do you think is most deserving to win Best Score? Wild Robot, Wicked, Emilia Perez, The Brutalist, Conclave. And this was Josh's response.
You list those films, and I hear Malik Willis, the backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, saying the phrase, comparison is the thief of joy. All of those films are so, even Wicked and Emilia Perez, which are both by definition musicals, they couldn't be more different from each other.
So the theme there from both Josh Schmidt and John Ridley is we just celebrate creativity, and it's not so important personally, but it's important commercially, and that's where the campaigning and the politics happens. But I thought both of them were very like, hey, we're just happy for everybody.
I can't wait to hear from Conan O'Brien with his opening monologue.
He's going to be a great host.
I'm looking forward to that, too. All right, more Oscar Insights tonight, a special edition of What's on Tap, and you got a cool guest. Who is it?
Yes, from Milwaukee Film, programming director Kirsten Larson is going to have opinions and also give us updates on what's happening at Milwaukee Film.
Ooh, it begins at 6 o'clock. I'll be listening. Sandy Max, great show always. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Enjoy the Oscars.
It is 4:28 at WTMJ. All right, let's check those markets. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green today. The Dow was up 601 points. The NASDAQ up 302. The S&P was up 93 points. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
Not so fun fact, a recent study showed that only 40% of managers have annual check-ins with their direct reports. Not good, especially when today's younger workers crave development and growth. But the LAK Group has a new tool called Coaching on Demand. This cutting-edge platform connects leaders and professionals with certified coaches and seamlessly integrates AI into their development journey, all on their schedule. Learn more at transformingcareers.com. LAK, discover your human advantage.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why, through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now, the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm Jessica Gatso. Your top story: conditional release revoked for a Slenderman stabber.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, still dealing with those crashes. First of all, southbound 43, it happened at Locust, and it's blocking the left lane. Big delays from Silver Spring, pretty much solid all the way down to that point. More delays beyond that, though, from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette down to the KK River. On the northbound side, we have folks slowing down to take a look, so we've got delays from the Marquette all the way up to Locust. Southbound on 894, that has just been brutal all afternoon. I would avoid 894 at this point heading on the southbound side. The accident itself is just before you get to the Hale interchange, and it's on the left shoulder, so not in the best spot, but it's not in traffic. We're seeing delays basically way out of the Zoo interchange all the way down just a parking lot. So Highway 100 might be an option, maybe 92nd Street might be an option for you. It's still kind of a headache. Eastbound 94 slowing from the Zoo interchange all the way to 35th. The westbound side, that's just that pocket right from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
A wind advisory for southeast Wisconsin goes until 6 o'clock. Tonight, partly cloudy, still blustery, a low of 17 degrees, wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 28. At 4:32, it's 49 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center in Waukesha County Court.
So on that basis, I will find that there's probable cause to go forward on revoking the court's initial decision to grant conditional release.
Judge Michael Boren ruling that Morgan Geyser's team did not provide a conditional release plan or enough information regarding safety in the initial ruling that granted her a conditional release last month. This comes more than a decade after Geyser and a friend stabbed another girl to appease the fictional internet character Slenderman. The other friend, Anissa Wire, was granted conditional release from inpatient care at a state mental facility in 2021. The next court hearing for Geyser is set for March 6th. Trowbridge Street School is closed starting on Monday due to high amounts of lead found at the school. In a press conference Friday afternoon, Milwaukee Health Department Commissioner Dr. Mike Todoridis says the move is different from previous instances of lead cleanup that has taken place at other schools.
The main kind of two pieces that we calculated into this conversation with MPS about the voluntary closure were, again, that we found lead hazards on top of remediated surfaces and the unsafe lead work that we observed. Those pieces, again, were different from the previous work. So again, we flagged those and, made this plan to do the voluntary closure.
Trowbridge students and faculty will move temporarily to Wisconsin Conservatory of Lifelong Learning until cleanup is complete. A notorious Mexican drug boss is facing multiple offenses here in the United States. Rafael Cairo Quintero walked into a federal courtroom today wearing the shackles once carried by DEA agent Enrique Kiki Camarena, tortured and killed in 1985 by the Sinaloa cartel. ABC senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky reports from Brooklyn.
It was right at the heart in 1985 of the U.S. Just Say No War on Drugs campaign, and it really woke Americans up to the violence of the Mexican narco wars. And Kiki Camarena's handcuffs were placed on Caro Quintero. There were at least 100, maybe more, DEA and other federal agents in the courtroom as he was arraigned. His lawyer entered a not guilty plea on his behalf.
Mexico extradited a total of 29 cartel figures to the U.S. Authorities are concerned about potential cartel violence in response. More federal workers will soon learn their fate. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
The Social Security Administration is looking to cut around 7,000 employees. According to a memo released today, it says the rumor of a 50% reduction is false and believes their goal will come from retirement, the incentive payments, and resignations. They note that OPM has not given guidance for when their reduction in force plan has to start, but there is a March 13th deadline for agencies to send their plan to OPM. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gerber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The NFL League year-end free agency period begins March 12th, and the Packers have roughly $48 million of cap space. Packers brass remains in Indianapolis for the scouting combine. The Brewers are on the field in Cactus League action against the Giants. That game has just finished up with the Giants winning 9-2. The Brewers are on the field. The Brewers will have our next scheduled broadcast on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ news time is 4:35.
So how would I describe our people? I'd say the people we set out to hire have to be smart, hardworking, and honest. Honesty being paramount of the three. Because honesty breeds integrity. And when you have integrity, you won't let yourself do anything less than your best. And that's who we're looking for. Character counts here, and integrity matters. That's why it's easy for us to offer the industry's best lifetime workmanship warranty with every roof we sell. A rock-solid warranty like ours guarantees our reputation and assures your satisfaction. At Semper Fi, we do the right thing. We seize the moral high ground and we hold it. And when you do that, you end up having a business that's going to last for generations. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi. Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
4:36. I hope that you're having a great Friday. We are here at the 2025 Milwaukee Auto Show. Just yesterday, we dedicated an entire hour to celebrate Black History Month, which just wrapped up yesterday. We celebrated Black Wisconsinites who are making a difference in our community. And I wanted to share a moment in our city's history, as Milwaukee would not be what it is today without Black Americans. The Great Migration. Historians estimate roughly 6 million Black Americans made this brave journey nationwide. The Great Migration particularly exploded after World War II for Milwaukee. I spoke to two Milwaukee Black history professors who guide us through this part of our history that reshaped our city and nation. The legacy of the Great Migration began as a courageous leap of faith for millions of Black Americans who were driven to escape the harsh constraints of the Jim Crow laws and the unthinkable terror of racial violence, including the horror of lynchings.
It was certainly normalized through the process of spectacle lynching. I mean, these were, in some cases, community-wide affairs. Take part in this very heinous action of murdering somebody, dismembering their bodies, taking pictures, selling postcards of the event.
Two Milwaukee professors have dedicated their lives to teaching our next generation about what should never be glazed over in our American history. Dr. Robert Smith is a professor at Marquette University.
It's not easy history.
And you'll hear from Dr. Robert Baker, a professor at UW-Milwaukee. He equates the Great Migration phenomenon to a push and pull effect, the push being the oppression in the South.
The work was unstable and low paying, and so many people were looking for ways out of the South and were being pushed out.
And the pull were places to Milwaukee. It served as a beacon of a better future by moving north.
My family from Huntsville, Alabama, and they stopped in Terre Haute, and then they went to Chicago, and then they came up here.
This brave pursuit of freedom would forever change the course of American history. Milwaukee would become attractive by word of mouth, especially during war industry efforts.
Lived experience of folks getting industrial jobs and saying, hey, you know, you can come here and make a decent wage. And obviously because of the Jim Crow South.
You have a place like A.L. Smith or Briggs & Stratton that's pulling people here for jobs. And Milwaukee at one time was one of the best places in America to come to if you were a Black American.
Professor Smith points out pivotal executive orders during World War II, which helped desegregate work.
FDR sort of opened the door for these changes with executive orders in 1942. Ended discrimination in the wartime industries. You know, A.O. Smith or Briggs & Stratton, they wouldn't have these big factories if not for this.
Those policy changes marked a huge shift in our city. They also revealed the ongoing struggle of African Americans to break out of the cycle of poverty and segregation through redlining. Redlining was a practice where banks and insurers refused to offer services to Black communities.
Keep the neighborhoods or communities controlled by racial practices, but then also class.
Redlining prevented African Americans from moving into certain areas of our city, like Bayview and Walker's Point neighborhoods, or even moving into the suburbs, like Wauwatosa was redlined.
To maintain a particular racial makeup of a community.
This issue rose to the surface thanks to trailblazers like Vel Phillips. Phillips was the first Black woman to graduate from the University of Wisconsin Law School and the first woman to serve on Milwaukee's Common Council when she said this.
In 1960, I had been trying very hard to purchase a home. It was really a kind of personal thing. I thought I would make a very good neighbor. My husband was good at mowing the lawn and I was good at picking up pieces of dirt. And I just didn't see why I should not be able to live anywhere in the city that I could afford to live. And I was turned down strictly and precisely because I was a member of a minority.
She would later become the first woman judge in Milwaukee County and the first African-American judge in the entire state of Wisconsin. The 1960s marked a turning point with marches for better living conditions known as the open housing protests.
We're going to walk till our feet are tired, then we're going to walk on our ankles and on our knees.
The 60s was a turning point here in Milwaukee and all across the country, and people like Father Groppe.
We'll never stop until we get complete human dignity.
And Vel Phillips and the Commandos marched so that we could have access to better housing across the city.
Martin Luther King Jr. visiting Milwaukee several times.
Milwaukee has some real problems to deal with. The problems are still here in employment and de facto segregation in the schools and, of course, in housing.
The demonstrations contributed to landmark policies such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which outlawed segregation, including the Title VII employment provision. King's assassination would spark the '67 housing riots. Both professors emphasize how the Fair Housing Act was signed into law in 1968.
It is something that we have to remind them wasn't really that long ago.
This stuff was happening in our lifetimes.
These Milwaukee professors hope by understanding the struggles and sacrifices of those who came before us, we can confront the truths that still shape us. Professor Smith always reminds his students to recognize where we all can do better together today.
If we don't pay attention to where we've been, we are certainly doomed to walk down some of those paths. You know, history doesn't necessarily repeat itself perfectly. This certainly echoes.
Join Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty on Wisconsin's Midday News.
A split ruling on compliance for SROs. Judge David Borowski finds the city of Milwaukee is in contempt of court.
Bringing you trusted and relevant news every weekday from 11 to 1 p.m.
President Trump's budget plans include $4.5 trillion in tax breaks and $2 trillion in spending cuts.
Meanwhile, the NFL is considering changing overtime rules during the regular season.
Only on WTMJ.
Hey, John Mercure here. I've got a great idea for you. We're broadcasting live from the Milwaukee Auto Show. All the cars are here. Guess what? There's Fords here. There's Chevys here. Everything they sell, Griffin's Hub is here. You can come here and check out the vehicles that you like. You look at them all, and then get into Griffin, and you can test drive the cars you fell in love with at the auto show. Everything from Chevy and Ford to the Wagoneer, all that great stuff. The Ford dealership in Waukesha I've been dealing with lately because I have recall work that needs to be done, and their service department is incredible. They have mobile service. They'll actually roll out to where you are. You don't even have to take the car into the dealership. How good is that? It's Griffin Ford in Waukesha, just off the interstate. And right now at that service department, you can get tires for $1 over cost, brand new tires, free tire repair and lifetime tire rotation. Cannot be combined with any other tire offers. Tires must be mounted, balanced, and installed at Griffin Chevrolet. See Service Advisor for details. It's Jim Griffin. Best service, best selection. It's Griffin Ford in Waukesha.
For every inadequacy and sin in your life, you and I have help. You have a Savior in Jesus Christ. God loves you so much, He is joyful to rescue you, to do His divine rehab of your life. It's good to be with Jesus.
We revisit a classic message from Pastor Gregory Seltz this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Fleet Farm's bucket sale is back. You know the drill. Pick up a Fleet Farm 5-gallon bucket for only $3.99. Then save 15% on everything you can fit inside, including clearance. That's right. Any qualifying items you can fit in the bucket are 15% off. So come on in and load up on savings during Fleet Farm's bucket sale. Now through March 5th. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
445 traffic and then weather. Debbie Lazaga, how are the roads this Friday?
Well, it's been a brutal ride this afternoon, but things are starting to turn around a little bit, especially on the bypass. We do still have delays coming through the Zoo interchange on the southbound side from about Blue Mountain Road all the way down towards about Oklahoma Avenue. That earlier accident just before the hail has been cleared up. So things are getting better there. Still seeing delays there, but just it's improving. Beyond that, Beloit Road down through the Hale interchange onto 894 eastbound, still going to be slow to about Forest Home. Southbound 43, backups right now coming in from just south of Silver Spring, solid, all the way down to Locust, where we still have this accident with the left lane blocked. We've got beyond that a little bit more delays just before Fond du Lac Avenue. Hitting the brakes, and then you're going to ride those brakes all the way down to the KK River. On the northbound side, it is slowing down from Kilbourne all the way up past Locust. 41 southbound's just been pretty typical. Slow from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. And then eastbound 94, that's going to be slow pretty much from the Zoo interchange all the way to 35th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, partly cloudy and blustery. Wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Hold on to your hats. A low of 17. This weekend, it's going to be mostly sunny. Saturday, 28 degrees. Sunday, 36 degrees will be your high. Monday, a chance of a wintry mix. Mostly cloudy throughout the day, high of 42. Chance of rain on Tuesday, the high will be 46 degrees.
Lots of stuff in the news concerning the Milwaukee Police Department. Most notably, they say they are ready to go to put officers in schools. The officers are trained. They're there all the time as it is.
Yeah, the city's saying no.
Yeah. Judges said, get your butts in the schools.
Mm-hmm.
And the city says, no, we're not ready for that. Wanted to get some perspective. Alexander Ayala is the president of the Milwaukee Police Association, and he is with us on the hotline. Mr. President, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
What is your reaction to Judge David Borowski saying we need to have the officers in school and we need it to happen now? What is your reaction to his ruling saying if that doesn't happen, there's going to be a big problem?
I was there. I was in the courtroom when the hearing was going on, and, I mean, I think he made the right decision. This is the right call. Just follow state law.
Who should pay for what?
Well, they went back to the old MOU that I guess we used to have back when we used to have the SROs in the schools in about 2020, and he just made the arbitrary decision to do the 50-50 because that was part of the problem. Who was going to pay for what? So
can you talk about the
now.
training situation too? Are these officers trained? Are they ready to go, like the judge is saying?
Well, listen. So, like I said before, any extra training is another tool in the toolbox for officers, right? So, but we're still going to the school. So all the officers are trained in de-escalation and mental health issues and things like that. So we already are going to the schools. We're already doing the job. So why not place the officers in the schools, and then whenever the training is available, we can go get trained. But it's not a necessary or a must-have as long as they eventually get the training.
I think you raise a great point because officers are already being called to schools,
right,
and now they're being taken off of other duties because they're not assigned to the schools. Can you talk about how often officers are ending up at schools and how difficult those situations are?
Well, they did some rough math, and I mean, we already got the open records request from last time. 3,100 calls a school year. It was about 17 calls a day. That's a big toll on the district that, you constantly have to pull from the district or call from a different district. Well, if you have the SROs, working in the areas and then dispatch to the schools, they can take care of those calls so that the districts can take care of the more important calls or the higher priority calls that need their attention.
Many people say that this will improve relations with police officers. In the district that I live in, the school district, there's an SRO at the high school. There's a couple of them, and the kids have relationships with them, and it shows them good role models, and it changes their perspective. With that as a backdrop, what do you say to people who say, we don't want them in school because we don't want our kids exposed to police officers because it's not a good situation? How do you respond to that?
That's just the wrong thing to say. I got influenced when I was a teenager by a police officer when my house got burglarized as a kid, and that's what made me become a police officer. So these are all positive interactions that we have with students, with staff, with the administration all the time. We want to bridge that gap between the police department and officers and the school and the kids that go to that school. We want the kids to see a police officer and say, that person's going to help me, and I want one day be a police officer.
I want to ask you to elaborate on that and give you one example. Julia and I have gotten close to the Jerving family. Officer Jerving, rest in peace, shot and killed as a Milwaukee police officer. Alexander, he became a police officer, his mom says in his book, because he ran into trouble. He got in trouble with police when he was little, and he was inspired as a 13-year-old at how the police officer treated him and taught him a lesson and was empathetic and kind, and it changed his life, and he became a police officer. Is that the more proper way to look at it instead of, oh, my gosh, they might scare my kid?
That is exactly how we want the public and the students and everybody to know that that's how officers touch people's lives every day. And you know what? Jerving would have been a great SRO. Why? Because he would have known that initial touch with the police officer, that is so essential to developing a career or inspiring a kid to be a police officer in the future.
We have Alexander Ayala on the line. He is the president of the Milwaukee Police Association. Alexander, do you have any reservations if SROs were put in place on Monday?
No. Our officers, our members would do an excellent job, just like they've been doing already for the last, 4 or 5 years without having actual SROs. Our officers are going to the schools. They're handling business. They're doing their job. We have training that can, hold us off until you get the official training. So there's nothing that stops a Milwaukee police officer from going to a school because, as we saw, 17 times a day on an average, 3,100 calls per year. We already are doing that job now.
So we had Police Chief Norman on our show about a year ago, and he was, saying some reservations that he had, getting it figured out. They're talking. Does he bear any responsibility in the fact that this has not come through?
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and point fingers. The department could have done a better job at doing it, but so, the city and MPS could have done a better job at doing this since the day that Act 12 got signed. They had plenty of time to do it. 18 months is long enough. And like I said it before, if one of my officers was violating state law for 18 months, they would get investigated, they would get suspended, and they would get fired. So I don't understand why everybody else gets a pass and my officers, don't.
You were there in Madison. I talked to you and Andy as well in Madison.
Yes,
we were in the bowels of the...
In the hallways.
Yeah, exactly. At every moment you were there. Was it crystal clear that SROs, 25 of them, need to be in place by January 1st of 2024?
It was crystal clear. You were there when we would talk in the hallways in the capital of Madison. This was something that everybody agreed on. And like Judge Borowski said, that's water under the bridge. Like, you have to move on from that. You don't like the speed limit? Don't violate the speed limit. We can discuss that later. But the fact is that the SROs, it was a law that got signed 18 months ago, and then it just never got done.
So at one of the public hearings, someone stood up, a woman who has a kid in school, and she said, the cops don't even want to be in the schools. This doesn't work for them. They're not trained to do this. They don't like it. And that always struck me because I think those officers are very special officers who want to nurture young people. Is this a desirable assignment for a police officer?
Yes. Again, maybe, you want to be an officer that wants to do, drug investigations, right? Or you want to be a detective. But there's officers that want to deal with students. They want to deal with kids, that this is something that is close to their heart. Everybody has, different things that they want to do in the police department. And being an SRO, that is a great position to do, and that is a great job to do because it's very rewarding. You work with the kids and in the neighborhoods that you care about.
All right. Do you believe that come the 15th, we will be in the position to have officers in schools? What does your gut tell you? What's going to happen?
I think everybody's going to do the right thing. I think the judges, by the order by the judge, is very crystal clear. And I don't think that anybody else is going to do any violations of the law anymore. I think by the deadline, we're going to see the names, the list, and everybody that's assigned to it.
Alexander Ayala is the president of the Milwaukee Police Association. Thank you for making time for us. We appreciate it. And thank you for what you do for our community and for keeping our men and women safe.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's 4:55 at WTMJ. If you didn't catch that whole interview, or you wanted to catch David Crowley, who is with us here live at the Auto Show, or any of our other segments, if you want to hear the Trump-Zelensky stuff, it's easy. Text the word WAN, W-A-N, to 855-616-1620. Our podcast page. Podcasts are sponsored by Dave Drakamp Heating, where your comfort is their family solution. It's Dave Drakamp. It's 4:56 at WTMJ.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Marcus Corporation ended the year on a high note, despite some struggles in the first half of 2024. The Milwaukee-based hotel and cinema operator benefited from a strong slate of highly anticipated movies like Wicked and Inside Out 2, while its hotels saw more group bookings. A Wisconsin bank is launching a digital bank, hoping to attract customers who don't need brick-and-mortar branches. The Bank of Broadhead has launched Vault.Bank, which is debuting with a savings account with a 4.5% interest rate. Allspring Global Investments is moving downtown after decades in the suburbs. The investment management firm is bringing about 300 employees to the 3rd Ward. Last year, it sold its office in Menominee Falls to Milwaukee Tool. I'm Timothy Gibbons for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All right, Julia, guess where I went this morning? I went to the bank. And I went to the bank because we're cleaning out the basement at home, and I found this old box, and it had like $500 worth of coins in it.
Oh, I thought it's because it's payday today.
Oh, that's a very good point. So I took the coins into my town bank.
Cha-ching.
And I walk in there, and it's so heavy, I can barely carry it in there. I'm like, oh, my God, these guys are going to hate me. I walk in there, and they said, no, of course we'll take care of the coins. You can leave the coins with us. We'll put it in your account. We do all that because we're a full service. And they are a town bank. Whether you're opening a new account, whether you're making sure your paycheck gets deposited, like Julia's thinking about, or whether you got coins lying around, they're going to take care of you at town bank because you are their top priority. If you're at a place now where you don't feel like you're the top priority, you got to switch it up. You got to change. You got to get the hell out of there. You need to get into Town Bank, where they will make you their banking priority. They're proud to be your one true banking partner, and they're focused on your unique financial goals because we all have different financial goals. Whether you're opening that first account, whether you're planning for the future, maybe you're starting a business or selling a house or buying a house, let Town Bank be on your side. They're on my side, and they have been for a very long time. Town Bank is part of the Wintrust family of community banks. A different approach, better results, member FDIC. They're the real deal. Equal housing lender. It's Town Bank.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet Spring Workwear event is going on now, and we have a great selection of quality workwear styles at unbeatable prices. Like 30% off men's work and sport pocket tees, $10.49 each. Save $10 on Ariat Rebar Made Tough work pants. New at Blaine's, men's brunch workwear apparel, 25% off. Plus, earn $30 in Carhartt bucks for every $125 spent on Carhartt gear. We've got the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay. Fashion, collectibles, car parts. It's all there. Go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
The place you want to go. Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch. Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm Jessica Gatso. This is Wisconsin's afternoon news for Friday, February 28th. Your top story, a Slender Man attacker's release is delayed.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We do still have this issue on southbound 43. It is a crash. It's been there pretty much all afternoon. The left lane is blocked with this, so that is going to be an issue. We've got delays from just south of Silver Spring, pretty much solid all the way down to Locust. Beyond that, more delays from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge to the KK River. Northbound is going to be slow from about Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Locust as well. Southbound 894 still heavy from just before Greenfield Avenue down and around the Hale interchange to about Forest Home on the bypass. Eastbound 94, you've got some backups basically from the Zoo interchange to 35th Street. Westbound, so far, it's actually looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, a wind advisory in effect until 6 p.m. for all of southeast Wisconsin. Tonight, partly cloudy and still blustery, a low of 17. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 28. At 5:02, it's 47 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center in Waukesha County Court today.
So on that basis, I'll find that there's probable cause to go forward on revoking the court's initial decision to grant conditional release.
Judge Michael Boren ruling that Morgan Geyser's team did not provide a conditional release plan or enough information regarding safety in the initial ruling that granted her conditional release last month. This comes more than a decade after Geyser and a friend stabbed another girl to appease the fictional internet character Slender Man. The other friend, Anissa Wire, was granted conditional release from inpatient care at a state mental facility in 2021. The next court hearing for Geyser is set for March 6th. High lead levels forced the temporary closure of a Milwaukee public school. Milwaukee Health Commissioner Michael Todoridis outlines the reasons for closing Trowbridge Elementary School in Bayview.
We found lead hazards on top of remediated surfaces and the unsafe lead work that we observed. Those pieces, again, were different from the previous work. So again, we we flagged those and, made this plan to do the voluntary closure.
Around 280 students and staff will transition to the Wisconsin Conservatory of Lifelong Learning on Monday while the health department works on cleaning Trowbridge. The health department confirms there are no additional cases of lead poisoning reported in the district. Off the rails. That's where the relationship between Ukraine and the United States now stands. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky clashed with President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance in the Oval Office for the whole world to see. CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
At some point, the Secretary of State and the White House National Security Advisor, Michael Waltz, were sent into the Roosevelt Room, and Zelensky was trying to say, hey, let's just talk again. Let's reset, let's try to get to a deal. And in essence, Waltz and Rubio told him, you've done yourself no favors today and you can leave. And as the president conveyed over social media, Rubio similarly said, you can come back when you're ready for peace. And so he drove out of here, having canceled a news conference, canceled another public event this afternoon here in Washington, and we're waiting to see how much longer he's here in the United States as the president prepares to spend the weekend in Florida.
And reaction in Europe, seeing European Union leaders and officials taking to social media to show their support for Ukraine. New details on the investigation in the deaths of Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife found dead in their New Mexico home. ABC's Alex Stone reports.
The mystery now growing around why Gene Hackman and his wife died. Investigators say the medical examiner found no carbon monoxide in their blood, but Santa Fe County Sheriff Adon Mendoza says they have a better idea of when Hackman died based on activity on his pacemaker.
This revealed that his last event was recorded on February 17th, 2025.
Other toxicology tests could take months to complete. The medical examiner is working now to determine a cause of death. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Coming up, what to know about an economic blackout today. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 5:05.
Do you know or work with kids who have special healthcare needs? Help them live their best lives. Contact Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network. Our specialists will connect you with services in your area. Wisconsin Wayfinder is free and confidential. Call 877-947-2929 or visit dhs.wi.gov/WISCWAY. Connect today. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks, on demand, in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We want to do the same for you. Annex does financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You want to know the price of a new roof on your home today? Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContractingWI.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. Zero wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 5:07. Americans are being urged to avoid all unnecessary spending today, especially at major retailers. CBS News correspondent Jim Krasula has the story.
The grassroots effort is seen as an act of economic resistance, a way to push back against the influence of billionaires and big corporations. Atlanta college student Brooklyn Kimmel doesn't plan on purchasing anything today.
I am participating, and my thoughts on it, I really wish it could last longer. I just feel like one day ain't enough to really show it, the importance of what we can do.
Today's economic boycott is also a protest against companies that have scaled back or eliminated diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The surging Bucks have won their 6 of their last 8 games. Bucks head coach Doc Rivers on the key to the Bucks' recent success.
We've been very good defensively. It's definitely something we're going to watch and teach and show that we can do it every night. We have to.
The Bucks begin a 2-game road trip Saturday night in Dallas against the Mavericks. The Brewers fell to the Giants 9-2 in Cactus League play today. Christian Yelich is expected back in the Brewers lineup in the next week. Our next broadcast is scheduled for Saturday at 2 o'clock. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 5:08.
What we've found is that when you have workers who feel valued, you get better results. This is why good people and good culture should matter to anyone looking for an exterior remodeling company they can trust. It's going to be your experience and the end result that gives you peace of mind, because you'll know your work was done by people who care. We realized early on that if we were going to change the reputation of this industry for the better, that finding good workers that you could trust to do great work was going to be the key. We're attracting good people every day because we take care of our people. We want to make sure they feel important, because they are. And we're going to make sure you feel important and valued too, with excellent customer service and high quality work. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Live from the Baird Center at the Milwaukee Auto Show, it's Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Jody Afello.
Julia, it's Friday.
I know.
Isn't it beautiful here at the Auto Show?
Oh, it's excellent. I love the matte finish on some of these cars, Corvettes, Model Ts, or whatever that is over there.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
That is sweet. Did you get in to see those puppies? You got to see the beautiful puppies in the Subaru area.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
I would love to. How many were there?
Super sweet. I think there were 4. And they looked
So
cuddly.
cute.
There were other people in there, customers that were sitting and cuddling with the puppies. And yeah, something for everybody here. There's mini golf for the kids. This place is open all night. You get a drink here. You can get stuff to eat.
Yep.
So come on out to the Auto Show. Hey, let's get to the weekend review. The Pope Watch in the Vatican, cabinet craziness in D.C., an irate judge reprimands the city of Milwaukee, and a tussle in the Oval Office. Not a physical tussle, but some serious arguing going on. It's the weekend review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go.
Beep, beep.
The Vatican saying the 88-year-old Pope showed slight improvement but remains in critical condition after suffering a prolonged asthmatic respiratory crisis over the weekend. Cardinals and the faithful gathering in St. Peter's Square.
I don't know what to pray for. I hope he's not suffering.
If you've been walking around downtown Milwaukee this weekend, you may have noticed some peculiar bipeds, colorful, walking around the Baird Center. Those are furries.
Can a furry ever dress as a human?
I've had a friend bring that up, and honestly, I'm not ready to go into skin suiting.
I got bit by one, and I liked it.
2 people are hurt after an argument leads to a Madison City bus crashing into a restaurant.
The female passenger became so upset when she learned that the bus was not going to her desired destination that she began attacking the driver, causing him to lose control of the vehicle.
The Iron District, there's something going on in the Iron District that could start this summer.
We are backing this Bear development. There's a lot of other parties involved as well, this Iron District soccer stadium project.
We are playing football.
The district says student data was not impacted, but that a security breach at Racine Unified did affect the staff's personal information.
A man from Milwaukee missing in the Puerto Rican rainforest for 3 days has been found.
We are so thankful to the guard and all those Puerto Rican people who did all the work, and he's doing wonderful right now.
President Trump will host his first full cabinet meeting of his second term, and he is inviting his most powerful advisor, Elon Musk.
It's an honor to have you. He's been a tremendously successful guy.
I'm confident at this point, knock on wood, knock on my wooden head, there's a lot of wood up there, that we can actually find $1 trillion in savings.
Randy Knaflick of Milwaukee was the VP of HR at SpaceX in 2012.
Elon was very intense, and so you always had to be on your game, and if you weren't, watch out.
Well, I did say people were going to die.
The Florida man game.
Live the headlines without the jail time.
That's the founding principle of the Florida Man Games. Pete Melfi is the event's founder.
I was born and raised here. We embrace our weird.
Well, it ain't the Olympics.
Breaking news overnight from New Mexico. Legendary actor Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog all found dead.
Hackman was found in the mudroom of the home, appearing to have suddenly fallen.
Officials say the Hoosiers star and his wife had likely been dead for weeks.
A murder-suicide inside a home in Franklin.
We have 2 PMV, one confirmed gunshot wound to the head. We're going to have to continue to clear the residence.
The year was 1968. Al Flowers was just a boy when he went off to war. He was trying to escape the housing projects of Chicago when the Marines caught his eye.
I knew this would get me away from the danger of the streets of Chicago. Little did I know that things would get considerably more dangerous down the road.
I'm finding the city of Milwaukee in contempt of my prior order.
The city argued that putting officers in schools before training would be a risk to taxpayers and the school. But Judge Borowski saw things a bit differently.
How anyone could dream up a risk to the taxpayers, I don't understand.
My mother-in-law, Diane, passed away this week at the age of 86. I was blessed over the last 40-plus years of having a bonus mom and dad who were always there for Kathy and I. We're all going to miss you, but you'll never be forgotten by all of us who loved you so much. Diane and Dreska, you will be missed.
Lopez drives down the lane, flushes it through with a foul! Oh, be nice, big fella!
Now it's go time. You're gambling with World War III.
President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance got caught up in a heated exchange with Ukrainian President Zelensky in the Oval Office.
What you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
That meeting went just about as poorly as it possibly could.
I'm in the middle of a mess.
What are we, gay?
Skin suiting.
They're having a fur ball.
Beep, beep.
Take care. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
The Weekend Review is brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to
Fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone!
spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
It is up and it is gone. A walk-off homer for Vinny Capra.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Rangers Saturday at 2. No matter the season, we are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Brian Noonan. I've only been on this weight loss journey for 3 weeks. I've already lost 23 pounds thanks to the amazing team at Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've been eating healthier, drinking more water, and I feel a lot more energized. There's no better way to start the new year.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp. Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Well, southbound on 43, we've got some backups coming in from before Silver Spring all the way down through the Marquette down to the KK River, so give yourself that extra time. On the northbound side, it's backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up towards Locust. That earlier accident at Locust on the southbound side has been cleared. Eastbound 94, watch for delays from 92nd Street to 35th. We've got 894 southbound from Greenfield, going to be still slow all the way down through the Hale interchange onto 894 eastbound to about Forest Home. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, blustery, a low of 17 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 28. Sunday, sunny, a high of 36. Monday, a chance for a little bit of wintry mix, a high of 42. And on Tuesday, a chance for rain, a high of 46 degrees. Another school in the Milwaukee public school system has an issue with lead.
Not good.
It's not good at all. WTMJ Sean Brinda has been on this story from the beginning, and he joins us with an update. Good afternoon, Sean.
Hey, John, Julia. We just learned a couple of new details about the lead investigation now at Trowbridge Street School. At the Zeidler Municipal Building today, the Milwaukee Health Department Commissioner Mike Totoritis told the media that as of Monday, 245 students and 45 staff members from the school will move temporarily to the Wisconsin Conservatory of Lifelong Learning as MPS works to clean the halls of the school.
Earlier in February, when we were walking through the schools, our staff did observe some unsafe lead work happening. So a staff member was scraping paint without proper containment in the school. And then the second part was when we actually started getting preliminary results back earlier this week from the lead risk assessment that happened on the 22nd. In those preliminary results, we were able to see that on surfaces that had been made safe or repainted and sealed, there was actually lead hazard dust on top of those made safe spaces.
Commissioner Totoritis further explained how difficult it can be to remove lead dust entirely from a space as MPS works to clear all affected schools.
If you clean a surface, you make it safe. If there's additional lead hazards in the other parts of the school, that can be tracked back into that space. If there isn't containment that's set up around some of the remediation work, that can cause the dust to migrate. It could be as simple as someone leaving a fan on and then dust from unsafe areas then blown into a safe area.
And with the Milwaukee Public Schools, Michael Harris discussed what steps are being made to make sure that lead is properly removed from the schools.
We recognize that our practices, we have to make sure that we're continuing to improve those practices as we go in to remediate areas in our schools. We're committed to doing that. I would like to just say thank you to all of our parents, staff members, and school leaders that have stepped up, making sure that this transition beginning Monday will be as non-disruptive as possible.
Now, John and Julia, the health department says the lead risk assessment of Trowbridge Street School will not be complete until later next week, but it says that they are a few steps closer with Milwaukee Public Schools and external partners to set up those lead testing sites for students at following affected schools with excess lead dust.
Sean, what else is next? I know that there's 100 buildings that could be affected by this that were built in the 70s that may have that lead paint.
Well, MPS is working with the health department to train their staff on how to properly clean those buildings in terms of removing lead. They have external sources out there right now that are working on Trowbridge as of starting tonight, going all the way through till Monday. So they'll be learning from those external contractors and then teaching their own cleaning staff how to properly adjust their cleaning practices.
WTMJ Sean Brinda. Sean, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It's 5-1.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Abby Holm. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Oh, the water in my house is so good. It's crisp, clean, clear. There's nothing in there but water. It tastes good. It's refreshing. It's so good. I'm drinking more water because I'm working out more at home. It's Guthrie & Fry water conditioning, protecting the water in my house. They have an RO system. That means they filter the water. It's absolutely perfect. It's Guthrie & Fry, local company, local people. When they're in my house, I know I can trust it to get done just the right way. Check them out today, gfwater.com. It's Guthrie & Fry water conditioning.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true, but offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works. Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through March 1st, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has donated over $890,000, providing more than 2.6 million meals to people across southeast Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Trained Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
So, Julia, did you hear and see the clip between Trump, Zelensky, and Vance in the Oval Office?
I think I watched it probably 10 times already. And it was 10 minutes long. Really big chunk.
It's cringy. It's hard. It was very, very intense. If you've heard about the story but haven't heard the clip, we have the heart of it right here that we want to play for you. So Vladimir Zelensky is brought into the Oval Office, the area where the famous yellow chairs are. He's sitting in one. Trump is in the other. J.D. Vance is on the sofa next to them. Other members of their delegations are in there. There's a lot of people. The reporters are in there. And they capture this moment where they go after Zelensky for not apologizing to the United States and not thanking the United States for all that the United States has done. Here, you're going to hear this here. It's Zelensky is the voice that's hardest to hear, and then Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Listen to this.
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are not strong...
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
That.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
Playing cards.
But right now, you don't.
Yeah,
you're playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No, in this entire meeting, you said thank you.
Even today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Pretty much ended like this. Trump said, make a deal or we're out. if you don't make a deal, we're out, and you guys fight it out. And I don't think it'll be really pretty. What did you think about them wanting a thank you from him? Was that more of a political thing?
I don't know. I think it's okay that he should be appreciative. I think to badger him, I think to make him grovel, to almost ask him to beg in the Oval Office, I think it was undiplomatic, it was unprofessional, it was unpresidential. The guy's lost 50,000 people, and this is what you get. Trump pointed at Zelensky in the meeting and said, you see the hate he's got for Putin? He has tremendous hate for Putin, and Trump didn't like that. Of course, Putin invaded his country and has killed at least 50,000 people. What do you expect the guy to do? I just felt bad. It was cringy.
Do you think this happens behind the scenes? Because Trump likes to have everything up front.
That's what it was. Zelensky walked in there and he didn't know that was going to happen.
This is exactly what the president likely wanted to happen.
I agree with you. And Zelensky wanted to continue the conversation, and instead the reports are that he got kicked out of the White House. So.
Wow.
It's 5:28 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow up 601 today. The NASDAQ up 302. The S&P up 92. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
I'm John Mercure, joined by my friend Jay Saunders, the PR manager at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Jay, thank you so much for being with us.
Good to be here, John. Thanks.
March, an exciting month, including a chance to win cash and a car. Is that right?
That's right. We're excited to turn the calendar page. You can roll for riches each Thursday in March to get your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Do that by earning drawings every day by using your Potawatomi Rewards card.
Man, that's cool. And what about the car part of this?
That's right. We've been talking about this all winter long, and March 28th is the finale of our game show giveaway. The grand prizes include not one, not two, but 3 all-electric vehicles plus a share of plus a share of $125,000 in cash. We're really excited to give away these vehicles again. Just like all of our other promotions, play any day with your Potawatomi Rewards card for your chance to either roll in the dough or roll away in a new car.
And I love this time of year. March means basketball madness. What's going on at the sports book?
We're loving tournament time. We're going to have all the buzzer-beating action for you at the sports book and our brand new Annex, which is next to the sports book, and Rockin' Brews. Place your bets, bust some brackets on one of our 90 self-serve sportsbook kiosks. Plus, we're going to have great food and drink specials. We're going to have games almost everywhere, so you won't miss a shot.
I love that. All right, what else is going on that people need to check out at Pato?
This weekend we're turning Rockin' Brews into a country bar in honor of the big professional bull riders event this weekend. Live bands Friday and Saturday nights. There'll also be country music DJs at our 1100 Bar and Lounge. Mixed martial arts is coming back to Potawatomi March 13th with the Anthony Pettis Fighting Championship making its return. Tickets are on sale now, and we're already starting to celebrate Mardi Gras with a great hurricane drink special on the casino floor.
Oh, that sounds good. For information, check out paysbig.com. Potawatomi Casino Hotel is the place to be. Jay Saunders is the PR manager out there. Jay, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, John.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:31. I'm Jessica Gatso. Your top story, no release yet for a Slender Man stabber. I'm Debbie Lazaga. Still a pretty hefty ride eastbound 94 from the zoo all the way to 35th Street. From the zoo into downtown, we're looking at about a 10-minute ride, so it's an extra 4 onto your ride. Southbound 43 is pretty brutal, slowing down from Hampton, all the way down through the Marquette, down to the KK River crossing. Southbound 894, that has some delays from National Avenue down and around the Hale interchange past 51st Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. That wind advisory still in effect until 6 o'clock for southeast Wisconsin. Tonight, partly cloudy, windy, and colder with a low of 18. On Saturday, mostly sunny, breezy, a high of 28. At 5:31, it's 45 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a Waukesha County judge revokes conditional release for Morgan Geyser.
I don't think the court can ignore what's been stated in the petition to ensure that all circumstances are fully ventilated, both for the court's purposes, for Ms. Geyser's purposes, and for the community's purposes.
Judge Michael Boren delaying her release at a last-minute hearing today after a request from the Department of Health and Human Services to keep her in their custody over concerns about her contact with a man outside the facility. Geyser and Anissa Wire stabbed Peyton Leitner 19 times a decade ago, nearly killing her to please the fictional character Slender Man. A judge scheduled a hearing for March 6th to discuss Geyser's release. High lead levels forces MPS students to a new school.
It's all based on a decision made by the Milwaukee Health Department to clean lead dust from Trowbridge Street School.
We were able to see that on surfaces that had been made safe or repainted and sealed, there was actually lead hazard dust on top of those made safe spaces.
Now all 280 students and staff will move temporarily to another school until Trowbridge is clean. Michael Harris with MPS.
We are making sure that they're following the proper protocols, and once they are identified, we are looking to retrain.
Sean Brenda, WTMJ News.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky clashed with President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance in the Oval Office today. A press conference to follow the contentious meeting canceled. CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe has new details.
The other thing that may have happened here, and some have observed this, and I think it's a correct one, Zelensky normally comes with a translator, and there was one there in the room, but opted to spend his time speaking in English, which is not his first language, obviously. And there's a chance that some of this may have been lost in translation today, or his ability to convey what it was he was trying to say may have been lost, given that he was leaning on English instead of Ukrainian.
Zelensky told President Trump that Russian President Vladimir Putin has broken his own signature 25 times on ceasefires and other agreements. The Milwaukee VA isn't the only veterans hospital to see job cuts this week.
More than a dozen Veterans Affairs workers were fired in Madison this week. It's all part of the latest cuts to the federal workforce by DOJ. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says all in all, 16 were terminated out of Madison, including one disabled veteran. Earlier this week, the paper says 10 were fired from the Milwaukee VA. In Toma, no word on the number of staff cut there, but Congressman Derek Van Orden did tell the Journal-Sentinel there have been adjustments in the staffing. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Declining sales continue for Wisconsin's largest paper.
Both print and digital editions of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel were down last year compared to 2023. In total, the paper recording around 70,000 weekly print editions in 2024. That's down from about 84,000 in 2023, while digitally, subscribers are down by about 5,000 year over year. Parent company Gannett predicts revenue for digital products will increase in 2025, but the Milwaukee Business Journal reports Gannett's total revenue has declined every year since 2019. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The NFL league year-end free agency period begins March 12th, and the Packers have roughly $48 million of cap space. ESPN's Rob Domofsky.
I did talk to some agents that have been there and are still there, two of which who actually met with the Packers. The agents told specifically one told me specifically, this is what he said to me, your team is going to be a player in free agency this year.
Packers brass remains in Indianapolis for the scouting combine. The Brewers fell to the Giants 9-2 in Cactus League play today. Our next broadcast is scheduled for Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 5:35.
Hey, Wisconsin, WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the once-a-year auto show sales event is on. Prime time to explore all that's new and score great offers and special savings to get more Mazda for your money and more for your trade. Connect with Holiday for expert help, their low simplified price, and $500 auto show bonus cash on new 2025s. Stackable with offers like low 2.9% 5-year financing for well-qualified buyers on most models, including Mazda CX-30, CX-5, and CX-50. How about the 2-row Mazda CX-70 and 3-row Mazda CX-90? Save even more if you or someone in your household already drives Mazda with owner loyalty rewards. Get qualifying details today and enjoy the award-winning guest care at Wisconsin's #1. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State, and I'm one of them. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
News, by the way, is sponsored by Holiday Automotive, Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip. Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky is with us. Hey, Niz, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. How's it going?
Oh, my gosh.
Good. We are live at the Milwaukee Auto Show. And walking over here, it was so windy. The wind was so strong at the intersection of like Bellar Phillips and Kilburn. It was like almost couldn't walk through it.
My coffee almost blew out of my hand. Literally.
We get those wind. You get the wind tunnels going for sure in between the buildings. But yeah, no. Recently, we just had a 45-mile-per-hour gust at the airport in Milwaukee. I would say another hour or two of this to go. The wind advisory actually gets expired at 6 o'clock. So it's not going to be a dramatic, like the wind isn't just going to shut off, but we will notice it getting progressively better and better as the evening goes on.
So is this going to bring in the cold, all this wind?
Yeah, well, we do have a cold front passing through right now. So behind it, it's not necessarily like the Arctic air mass that we dealt with a few weeks ago, but certainly more winter-like. By midnight tonight, I think we're going to be in the 20s and teens across the area, and wind chills by tomorrow morning, maybe close to 0. So again, yeah, a little kick of winter here to kick off our weekend.
Hey, I hear you're going to be inside during the weekend. I want to thank you. You do a lot for our community. You're involved in a lot of stuff. And it's the Fight for Air climb downtown, right? Do you do that every year?
This is my 3rd year doing it.
Whoa.
And if they keep asking me, I'll keep doing it. It's so much fun. It's a high-energy event. Obviously, there's people who are climbing with some very sad stories or, family members or even themselves, or there's something that's really uplifting. The stories and the reasons why people climb and do this climb and raise money for it, a big, broad spectrum. But I think everybody has someone who's been affected by lung disease of some sort in their lives.
Do you train for it? Do you practice? I mean, you're like Mr. World Fitness of the broadcast industry, but do you train?
I do. I don't train specifically for this event, but I do make sure that I'm keeping up with my cardio pretty much year round. It's a different burn though. Like, I mean, I could feel pretty good, like, going for like a 5-mile run, but you can't really mimic climbing constant stairs. And the stairs in 411 East Wisconsin are kind of like, they're pretty narrow and they're little and they're steep. So it's a tricky climb. But honestly, I don't want to I'm not trying to detract anybody from doing it, because you could do it at your own pace. You need to stop. You need to take a break. You do that, and there's plenty of people doing that. There are the people who are like the Ironmen, and then there's people in between like myself, and then there are people who, are ready to take this, and if it takes them hours, they're going to get it done.
Man, I love that, and you nailed it, because when you can't breathe, nothing else matters. And those of us that have an easy time just absolutely take it for granted, so thank you so much for doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great event, and I encourage anybody to get involved however they can. If they want to make a donation to someone who is climbing, or if they want to climb themselves, or just come cheer people on, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, my wife Michelle will be at the starting gate there to get you going, so make sure you that she's doing her job, would you?
Great.
I remember she was there last year, and I'm holding like a GoPro and my phone up. I think the production crew wants me to do the same thing.
Yes.
Do live Facebook, and then hold the GoPro up for real video as well. So it'll be a lot of fun.
What time will that be at?
I think I climb at 9:05 tomorrow.
Ooh,
I'm on it.
Let's be watching.
Mm-hmm.
Julie and I are doing the polar plunge tomorrow, so we're real interested in the weather too. So as you're climbing, we're heading to the polar plunge in Muskego. I'm so excited about it. What's the weather going to be like out there? We're going at noon,
goodness,
so
guys,
it's really good.
I wish I had a little bit better news, but yeah, it's going to be chilly tomorrow. At least the sun will be shining. I mean, you got that
going
your
for mittens.
you.
Yeah, you got me mittens and a hat. So what? All right, so let's talk about tomorrow. All right, let's just do the whole thing. Start with tonight, then let us know what it's going to be like tomorrow.
Okay, partly cloudy tonight eventually. Windy and colder, a low of 18 in Milwaukee. Wind chill, maybe close to 0 tomorrow morning. Now, tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, and a high of only 28 degrees. I wish we had the 56 for you guys tomorrow that we had today. Sunday, mostly sunny, back up to 37. Monday, mostly cloudy with a wintry mix possible late. That's kind of a precursor to a bigger system that comes into play late Tuesday. High 38 Monday, 44 Tuesday with rain moving in late Tuesday. Going to have to still watch that system Tuesday night into Wednesday. Could see a changeover to snow on Wednesday, maybe accumulating snow.
All right, thank you, Niz. Good luck at the climb tomorrow.
Yeah, good luck with your event, too. We'll see you guys.
Hey, you got to be watching the live feed. Text the word WATCH to 855-616-1620. Look at this beautiful puppy. What's the puppy's name? Cheese. This is from the Subaru area. You can check out the pets while you're here. Julie has Cheese. Oh, that's such a great dog. Thanks for doing that, you guys. That's such a cool thing that you do in there. You can come, and you can't leave here with a car, but you can leave with a dog.
Cheese is so sweet. I love that
Cheese
they do that.
Beautiful. I love it, too. It's 5:42 at WTMJ.
Imagine waking up to the updated kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. J&J Contractors is your preferred partner in all your home renovation needs. They can transform your kitchen with beautiful new floors, custom cabinetry, and more. Dreaming of a spa-like oasis with custom tile work and fixtures? J&J Contractors will design a bathroom that leaves you feeling relaxed and rejuvenated. For your free consultation, just search online, J&J Contractors, or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
Otto's Wine and Spirits, serving Milwaukee since 1945. They are the best. They've got all the locations. I go to the one in Menominee Falls. I'm going to go there on the way home, actually. I have a case of wine that's waiting there for me. They've got the best advertised prices, and they'll beat any other price you find anywhere. Best selection, best value. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. Employee-owned, which means they care about everything that happens in the stores, and they're so knowledgeable. I love the feeling when I'm in Otto's Wine and Spirits. When you're planning your celebration or just a little nice quiet night, check out Rigo, Otto's Wine and Spirits.
There are a lot of interesting people and traditions in Wisconsin. 1 hour of covering culture and creativity in our state is simply not enough. I'm Sandy Max of WTMJ's What's on Tap with the happy news that my show is now expanded to 2 hours. So please join me weeknights from 6 till 8 for updates on festivals, films, food, music, theater, and other ways we love to make the most of Wisconsin life. What's on Tap with Sandy Max weeknights now from 6 till 8 on WTMJ. And subscribe to the What's on Tap podcast to listen anytime you want.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Let's get you and you two safely with our Debbie Lazaga this Friday.
All right, well, we've got problems again. 43 southbound. This time it's at Keith. The two left lanes are blocked because of a broken down vehicle. So, no rest for the weary. If you're traveling down southbound 43, it's going to be very heavy from Hampton all the way down to about Keith. The northbound side's heavy from North Avenue up past Keith as well. Eastbound 94, we are looking at backups from 92nd Street to about 35th. We've also got on the Rock Freeway a crash northbound just past Layton. We got cars on both shoulders, so just watch out for a little bit of a delay right past that. Other than that, southbound on 894 from about National Avenue down past Beloit Road is going to be heavy. And then eastbound on 894, you're looking at delays from about 76th Street all the way through to Loomis. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
We're excited to be joined at the Milwaukee Auto Show. We're here till 6 o'clock. Come say hello. Bye, Milwaukee County Executive, one of the really good guys, David Crowley. Mr. County Executive, thank you for being here.
We're so glad to be joining y'all here at the Bears Center. What an exciting time to be here.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we haven't seen you since the big story of you graduating. Yes. I want to tell you that's an inspiration. So at 19, you were in a different place than you are now. You committed, you went back, you got your degree. Before we talk about reckless driving, I wanted to ask you one question related to that. Okay. How did you stay motivated? What was your inspiration to get this done?
Great question. So to be honest with you, it's three motivating factors. One, it was my mother. You know, she passed away about 2 years ago. But even when I became the county executive, she said that this should be one of the most important decisions I make, to go back and get my degree. And the second reason was because she felt that I needed to make sure that my daughters knew how important an education was, but also for the community. I think there are a lot of people who are in the same place that I was in, not necessarily having a degree, or may have like 12 or 30 credits to go. And so I wanted to be an example to show that even though if you are busy, we can stay committed, we can show the passion by going back and getting a good education.
You certainly are. What is your degree in?
Yeah, so I got my degree in community education and engagement. And so this is it's a policy degree. It fits well with my work. So anything public policy, education, nonprofit management and leadership type of certificates.
Excellent.
Those are the type
That's
of degree
wonderful.
I have. Thank you.
So you recently signed a resolution to adopt Milwaukee County's Comprehensive Safety Action Plan, CSAP.
Yes.
What does this mean? Tell us about the plan. Give us the overview.
Absolutely. So as many folks know, not just here within Milwaukee County, but across the country, reckless driving has just been a huge issue. And so by passing this particular resolution, this allows Milwaukee County to go after potential funding at the federal level. Now, we talk about Vision Zero, right, at the city level. Now we have this county-wide, which gives Milwaukee County, as well as all 19 municipalities, to be able to team up and come up with a unified strategy to help reduce the fatalities and serious injuries that we see on our roadways every single day right here in Milwaukee.
You've identified more than 500 different comprehensive plans that you want to do. Are there maybe one or two that you could see happening in West Dallas to West Milwaukee to Shorewood that would be helpful all over?
Well, that's the beauty of this partnership, because instead of us just coming in and putting in permanent structures, this allows us to work with each municipality. So one of the things you'll start to see is actually temporary structures going up. We want to be able to collect that data and use that data to make a decision on what kind of permanent infrastructure we want to put in place. And so we want to follow the data, but more importantly, the municipalities need to be at the table to see what works well for their community.
You can hear from them. That's good to know.
Yeah. You raised such an interesting point about how this allows you to tap into funding. I wanted to ask you in general about this specifically and in general, how big a part of your job is securing grants and going after federal funding? Because dollars are at a premium and the county doesn't have an endless supply. How important is that?
That is extremely important. I mean, one of the first actions I took when I was first elected in 2020 is we created a special projects and grants office. And this office has brought in millions, tens of millions of dollars into Milwaukee County. And matter of fact, I'm going to be going to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. National Association of Counties, we're having our legislative conference. But this is an opportunity for me to talk to the White House IGA staff, as well as many of the congressional members that we have represented in Wisconsin, to not only talk about the federal funding and how well it would do us, but just continuing to strengthen that partnership, and not just around traffic, but just around all the issues facing our community.
How much money do you want? Because, I mean, like, one on the south side, like, one little stretch was like $16 million. This is not cheap.
Well, it's definitely not cheap. And, you know, when it comes down to Milwaukee County and in my administration, we don't want to leave no money on the table. And so we're going to continue to see what grant dollars, what federal funding is available. But that's the beauty of building these relationships, right? And I know that people have been asking about how does this pause going to affect you all and things of that nature. As of right now, it hasn't affected us.
Okay.
But I will tell you that any federal funding, any pause is going to really slow down our pace in really trying to reduce those serious crashes in Milwaukee.
Road diets, slow zones, signal improvements. It's about getting additional funding. Is it also about actual improvements to our roads and our boulevards?
Absolutely. I mean, you can't do this without actually enhancing our infrastructure, right? Because we know we can't legislate human behavior. So the more and more that we can focus on these infrastructure, we know that we can improve human behavior. We can put parameters around what people can do. And so we see people who wants to, speed and pass on the right? And having bike protected lanes and things of that nature helps to reduce that amount of reckless driving. And so the enhancements on the streets is going to be critical for the infrastructure.
Can we just talk about Capitol Drive for an example?
Yeah.
Like where TMJ4 was located, where our radio station used to be located.
You mentioned Capitol Drive, right? Is one of those areas of focus. 27th Street is another area, as well as Fond du Lac Drive, right? But the one thing about, Fond du Lac Avenue, those three particular corridors, they're not City of Milwaukee streets. They're not Milwaukee County streets. Those are owned by the state of Wisconsin. So it's extremely important that we strengthen that partnership, because if we want to see improvements in the infrastructure, these enhancements is going to take the state of Wisconsin working directly with us.
David Crowley is with us, a Milwaukee County executive. You have 3 beautiful daughters and a lovely wife. Do you worry about them? on our Milwaukee streets when you talk about reckless driving?
Oh, absolutely. And, you talk about my 3 daughters. I have a 17-year-old who just received her license. And, good thing about her is that she has a job. She works up the street from us, right on Burleigh Street in the Wauwatosa area in the Mayfair Collections. And I'm always worried about what may happen. Now, she's a brand new driver, so I know that it could be a little iffy for her, but she's a good driver. But I'm not worried about her. I'm worried about everyone around her on the road. And so she understands that you have to continuously keep your head on a swivel when it comes down to many of these reckless drivers. But every single day, whether my daughters or my wife is on the streets, but even when I'm on the street, right, I do a lot of traveling across the entire county. And so it's not just about keeping myself safe, but I want to keep everybody safe throughout the county.
I call it defensive driving.
Oh, absolutely.
So with all of these safety opportunities that you want to do in Milwaukee County, you say you hope to reduce fatal and serious injury crashes 38% on average.
Mm-hmm.
So how would that happen? How would you make sure that it goes down by 38%? Where did you get that number? It's very specific.
Well, we have a lot of experts when it comes down to our Department of Transportation, and I can't really give you the formulas of how they come up with this, but what we know is that we see about 80 fatalities every year right here within Milwaukee County, and we've seen about a 42% increase when you think about between 2020 and 2022. Compared to 10 years ago in 2010 and 2012, we've seen a 42% increase. And so looking at these numbers, again, just looking at the infrastructure, looking at the enhancements that we can place, we know that the physical infrastructure can do so much in reducing these fatalities and serious injuries.
Hey, let's have a little fun. We're at the Milwaukee Auto Show.
Mm-hmm.
David Crowley is with us. Are you a car guy?
I am a car guy.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you about old cars, but I will tell you I'm looking at this Lincoln Continental with the
matte black.
We are too.
Yes, and
yes.
I'm like only 80 of them. 2019. I had to Google it, but I'm looking at these vehicles.
You look good in that.
Yes.
I would look good in that. Unfortunately, I can't afford that type of vehicle.
What was your first car?
My first car, oh, wow. It's actually, my first car was a 1990 Jeep Cherokee.
Oh, that's not bad. What color?
That's really
It was
nice.
it was an all-white 1990 Jeep Cherokee. It was all white. It was a gift from my father, and he gave it to me as I was actually back then getting ready to go into the electrical apprenticeship so I can have a vehicle. Yep.
Was that the boxy one?
That was the boxy.
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Those were cool.
Those
that was cool
lasted
back then,
forever.
especially.
Yeah,
Yes.
and ironically, I don't have that vehicle anymore because it was stolen.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh,
Hey, all right, one more. You can snap your fingers, close your eyes, and any car can be dropped in your front yard and is paid for and it's yours. What car do you want dropped in that nice yard?
That's a really good question. I love American-made cars, so I'm thinking about a nice Lincoln. My dream car has always been like a Lincoln Navigator.
Yeah.
If I could do anything, but if I'm going full luxury, those Maseratis look real nice.
They're fast too.
Oh, real fast,
Yeah.
man. I never got a chance to be in one.
You're the Milwaukee County executive. Get you out of State Fair Park and you can take it around the track.
Oh, absolutely. But I have to always make sure that the taxpayers knows that we did not spend Milwaukee County dollars on these things.
David Crowley is the Milwaukee County executive. It's always fun to catch up. Thank you. Good to see you.
No, thank you for having me, and I want all your listeners to know to please be safe while on the road. Watch out for those pedestrians. Keep your head in the swivel, and please always drive safe.
Good advice.
These are your